Welcome back, you guys. This is your stimulus check update. This is your second stimulus check update for Saturday, July 4th. So let's get into your stimulus check updates today. Now, although Congress is on vacay right now, I've got good news again about the IRS stimulus checks today. Now, for all you guys with side hustles or small businesses, have you gotten your $1,000 grants yet? I just don't want you guys to pass up on this opportunity. You got the EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loans from the SBA. Those are still available, and funding is still up for grabs. So I don't want you guys missing out on that. Also, for my people who are receiving Social Security, SSI, SSDI, don't worry. I didn't forget you guys. I got something special for you. So go ahead and smash the like button if y'all want some good news this morning. I know we've had enough setbacks with the second stimulus check being delayed. We had the spike in the virus cases as well as the economic rollbacks. That we could really use some good news right now. What do y'all think? Now, I've heard you guys in the comments of my previous videos, as well as in the Facebook group. Those of you guys who joined the Facebook group, y'all know what's up, right? Saying that you did not get your stimulus payments or your stimulus checks for your children. So I'll be discussing what happened with those stimulus payments that you guys have missed and how you can get a second stimulus check this July, this month, for up to $1,500. One more thing, quick reminder, the $600 per week PUA unemployment benefits are still available, but things are changing very quickly. So, I'll be sure to update you guys in this video about that. So be sure to watch to the very end of this video because you don't want to miss anything. Now, you guys know I always look out for you guys, but before we get into it, I just want to say welcome back to all my subscribers. And for those of you guys who are brand spanking new here, we cover all things personal finance, investing, how to make more money, and how to generate multiple streams of income. I know you guys want to learn about that. I know you guys want to hear about that and how to do it, because anyone can do it. So if you're interested in that, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into it. Oh yeah, many of you guys have already joined the Facebook group, the Facebook family. That's super duper awesome. I really appreciate you guys. I love how the group is growing. Personally, I didn't get a stimulus check either. So I know how it feels to be left out, like many of you guys have. Many of you guys have been left out, but it's all good. Many of you guys have expressed your passions for wanting to generate some income on your own, but you haven't received your stimulus check and you're short on some startup capital. I feel you guys. So I want to help some of you guys get going with your new side hustles or whatever you decide to do. So we'll be starting some giveaways in the Facebook group to help you guys get your side hustles going very soon. So I'm gonna drop a link to the Facebook group in the description down below. But anyways, guys, let's finally get into it. All right, so back in the day, before the pandemic began, the EIDL loans have been available only to small businesses and private nonprofit organizations. But since the $2.2 trillion CARES Act was passed, the EIDL is now available to small businesses with 500 employees or less. So that's pretty cool. The CARES Act has been authorizing cash advances of up to $10,000 that do not have to be paid back, making them grants. Now, these advances are to be paid out to applicants within 3 days of applying for one. I really appreciate you guys letting me know how well things are going for you guys. I'm glad that you guys have been able to get your $1,000 plus grants. That's super what's up. If you apply for the EIDL loan, you can also apply for the EIDL advance, which is the grant from the SBA, which is $1,000 per employee, up to 10 employees, for a maximum of $10,000 for the advance. Now, you can get a $1,000 to $10,000 EIDL advance even if your EIDL loan application is not approved. Are you guys hearing me? Seriously, pay attention. Seriously, you can literally get $1,000 to $10,000 in an EIDL advance even if your loan application is not even approved. A lot of people have been asking, do I have to pay the grant back? Nope, don't have to pay the grant back. It's very clear under the CARES Act that this is a grant that does not need to be repaid. There's no interest payment required either. So, drop me a comment below if any of you guys have received an EIDL loan or a grant. And the EIDL loan money is still available, so you can apply for a loan and a grant at the same time. Now, right now, the SBA is providing $1,000 per employee up to 10 employees. So if you're a sole proprietor, you're only eligible for $1,000, but hey, it's still $1,000. And that could be very, very helpful right now. I can think of tons of businesses that could be, up and running off of $1,000. The application's pretty short and many people have received their grant money within just a few days of being approved. I mean, it's pretty quick. We've gotten approved for the loan and the grant is like free money. So anytime free money is available, I'm signing up. So I just want you guys to be aware of your options because there's some good options out there for you guys. Anyway, there's some qualifications that have to be met in order to get this money. You know, there's some rules on how the money needs to be used, but let's discuss who might qualify. You got independent contractors and, you know, they've expanded the eligibility criteria to include freelancers, sole proprietorships with or without employees. So, you know, many of you guys with side hustles can qualify. So if you drive for Uber or Lyft, or you do some kind of food delivery service or whatever, Uber Eats, whatever, maybe you sell stuff on eBay, if you do hair, if you cut grass. My point is many side hustles can qualify for these loans and these grants. And most people who receive a 1099 can also qualify. So keep that in mind. You know, if you also have to be in business or have had to be in business before January 31st of this year. So those are some opportunities available for you guys. I just want to remind you guys who have heard it before, but have not taken action. And for those who have, you know, just heard it for the first time, now you know. Let's talk about the second stimulus check that I mentioned earlier. Now, on Tuesday this week, the IRS Commissioner, Charles Rhode, he cleared up a lot of discrepancies related to the missing stimulus checks, particularly the stimulus checks for those who are expecting the extra $500 per qualified child. Now, Rhode, again, the commissioner of the IRS, he discussed the flaws in the process that they use for getting the stimulus checks out. And, you know, these flaws delayed or prevented certain payments from getting to the American people. Now, especially for you guys who are receiving Social Security benefits, as well as SSI and SSDI. Now, the CARES Act provides stimulus payments or stimulus checks up to $1,200 for individuals and up to $2,400 for taxpayers who are filing a joint tax return, and an additional $500 per qualifying dependent under the age of 17. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but since a large number of Social Security recipients don't meet the annual income requirements to file a tax return, they did not receive certain stimulus payments that were sent based on 2018 or 2019 tax returns because they didn't have to file them, right? So there were around 20 million people who have fallen into this category. Now, at first, the IRS was saying something like, you know, some seniors and others who typically do not have to file tax returns will need to submit a simple tax return to receive their stimulus payment. But this conflicted with the CARES Act. Now, according to a new report from the Government Accountability Office, the GAO found that up to 450,000 low-income Americans did not receive the money that they were due for their dependent children. Now, then later on, the IRS said that the people who receive certain federal benefits would automatically receive their stimulus payments. But some people had no idea that they had to fill out or use this non-filer tool on the IRS website to send some additional information to the IRS about qualifying dependents to claim that extra $500. So not only that, but the IRS also lost some of that information. I don't even know how that's possible. Like y'all gonna tell me that the IRS is sending out hundreds of billions of dollars and they don't back up their data? I mean, seriously, guys. I mean, man, whatever. So based on my interactions with you guys, I know that you guys need this money. And, you know, this is pretty messed up. Now, at first, the IRS was saying that those who didn't receive their dependent money wouldn't receive it until sometime next year. Now, that's pretty messed up. I'm not even gonna go into that. But most recently, the IRS has had a change of heart. Now, representatives at the IRS told the GAO that they're working to figure out who did not receive additional money for their qualifying children, but did submit it in the non-filer tool. And they're expected to provide supplemental payments by the end of July. So that's this month. Now, the IRS commissioner also said that we are going to be reissuing these $500 payments this summer. So that's some really good news. The IRS would not guarantee that the additional $500 per dependent would be sent out to those who missed the deadline to use the non-filer tool to submit the dependent information. So if you are missing your additional $500 per qualifying dependent and you earned below the income thresholds that we mentioned earlier, and you use the, you enter your dependent information into the non-filer tool before April 22nd this year, which was the deadline, then you should be receiving a second stimulus check for your dependents, which would be $500 for each qualifying child. So if you have 3 qualifying dependents, you should get a $1,500 second stimulus check in July. Now drop me a comment below. If you receive one of these checks, one of these stimulus checks, I definitely want to know about it. All right, so let's talk about the unemployment benefits, right? So let's just jump right into the $600 weekly unemployment boost benefits. Now, these benefits were introduced in the CARES Act to support Americans through the economic decline caused by the pandemic. Now, they were supposed to expire on July 31st, end of this month, guys. But as of Wednesday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer introduced a brand new proposal called the American Worker Rescue Act. All right, bunch of acts. Somebody said in the comments, like, the acts, all these acts that the government comes up with, it's like they're acting like they're going to do something, but they don't really do anything. But anyway, that was kind of funny. Anyway, so this would extend the $600 weekly unemployment benefits beyond July 31st expiration date. Now, the Democrats have been on board with extending the program past July 31st from the start, but they've been met with some headwind, from the Republicans in the Senate. But the good news is that this brand new proposal is coming out of the Senate. So the Senate has come up with this idea. So that's pretty good. Now, obviously that's a good sign, but we know how Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell felt about the $600 per week unemployment boosted benefits, right? Now, what's different about this proposal is that if this proposal were to pass, there would not be a set expiration date associated with it. So compared to how it was written in the CARES Act, where, there was a definitive date, July 31st is the unemployment benefits end, this one wouldn't have a definitive date. So this new $600 unemployment benefit boost would expire based on conditions instead of based on a date. So basically, these unemployment insurance benefits would be provided to recipients until the state that they lived in fell below the 3-month average total unemployment rate of 11%. And to give you guys a little bit of perspective, the current US unemployment rate is 13.3%. Now, personally, I kind of like the idea of having unemployment benefits extended based on economic performance rather than time. Now, we can see from the CARES Act that we're running up on the expiration date way before the economy is strong enough to support itself. I mean, we're looking at possible, reversals in terms of states opening and stuff like that, right? So, if we make the expiration conditional based on performance rather than based on a set time, there should be a pretty natural transition into being able to remove the additional unemployment benefits without, hurting people too badly. At least that's what I think. Now, the only issue that I can see with this would be if unemployment numbers were to somehow get manipulated, kind of like they have already done to show that the state unemployment rate is lower than it truly is, then that could make the program end sooner than it actually should. But, I'll keep my good faith within our government and assume that they will play fairly, right? So I'll keep you guys updated on this as it moves forward. But what do you guys think about this new boosted unemployment benefits proposal? Do you guys think it should expire based on the unemployment rate, or do you think it should expire based on a set time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I really appreciate you guys watching to the end of this video. If you found any value in this video, do your boy a favor, hit the like button. It lets me know that this information was helpful to you guys, and I'll be keeping you updated on all of the latest stimulus updates, financial news, investment strategies. So be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.